Well, just 55 days to go until Election Day. Hillary Clinton heads back on the campaign trail tomorrow after taking a couple days off to recover from pneumonia following that incident on Sunday at the 9/11 memorial in New York. Question is, are Democrats buying Hillary's explanation for her health status? Here to debate, Democratic pollster Chuck Rocha and Republican pollster and Washington Examiner columnist Kristen Soltis Anderson. Great to see you both. Chuck, first to you. Nobody goes from collapsing from pneumonia to walking unassisted in a sprightly way on the sidewalk an hour and a half later. That's just not actually what happens in real life. I don't know what is happening, but how nervous are Democrats when they watch this and they know that there's some explanation that we're not hearing?
I think that all Democrats probably do not want to see their nominee ever stumble, whether it's on a sidewalk or in polls. What the latest polling that we've been doing has been showing that Donald Trump is underperforming with like college-educated suburban voters, and she's pretty solid with Democrats, but there's this sliver of undecideds, or people I would call that aren't undecided but uncomfortable. I call them an uncomfortable voter for Hillary Clinton or for Donald Trump, and they're trying to make up their decisions. Does this stumble, whether it's the literal stumble or the stumble that she's been having over the last week, affected the polls? I think that's going to be in the light of day in the coming days in the polling that's in the field right now. So I think it's a little undetermined. I think the base Democrats, they take this as she got sick, she'll be fine. I think they take it at her word. But I think it's those undecideds in the middle who are the real ones we should be watching.
So, I mean, Kristen, whatever's going on with Hillary Clinton, my sense is the public would probably accept it and forgive it and look past it. It's her impulse to lie about everything that creates this ominous feeling about this story. You feel like you don't really know what's happening. It's counterproductive. It hurts her, and she does it anyway. Why does she do that?
I think this is just part of the Clinton norm, to take something where it's probably not that bad, and then the cover-up kind of makes it worse. It makes it a story that has far more legs to it. I don't think that Democrats themselves will necessarily be too concerned over, perhaps concerned for her health, hoping that she gets better. But generally, we see people break into their partisan camps when stuff like this happens, where people of the opposing party assume the worst. People sort of circle the wagons around their own party and say, no, 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 she's fine. Everything's going to be great. But to Chuck's point, you know, you've got these undecided voters, and right now there are a lot of voters who say they're anxious about the idea of both of these candidates being president. If you feel like Hillary Clinton is someone where you never really are getting the full story and you're not quite sure what the next 4 years might look like, that can raise your anxiety level. That can make her seem like less of a safe bet. Being the solid, steady candidate in this race versus Donald Trump, who's certainly unpredictable, is a strength that she may lose if they continue to mishandle things like this.
Chuck, isn't the lesson here that when you rig the system and force a nominee on a political party, maybe you don't get the best nominee?
Well, I think there was a very heated debate on both sides of this, and I think that's exactly what you're talking about, Carlson. There's a lot of people within the base of both parties that we see in lots of polling who want to make sure that their voice is heard and that anxiety's there, right? And we shouldn't have a race to the bottom on turnout. We should have a race to the top and encouraging more people to participate. With the angst in the American public and them really not feeling the recovery of the economics over the last few years, there's a lot of people looking for an outlet, and I don't think they see either one of these guys at a certain level being that. So anytime one of them have a slip-up or a slip itself, then you see that step back.
I wish we had more time. I'm being told we don't. Thanks a lot for joining us both so early. Appreciate it. Good to see you.